I think the three of us made handheld. All of our movies were shot pretty much
that's
on handheld.
right, yeah.
And you guys worked in a more traditional way. And I find that I have to work twice as hard when it's shot more in a more traditional way to be that loose and to kind of relax about it, because you really have to put the blinders on and know what you're doing. But with this one, lucky accidents happened every other second. It was it was so wonderful.
I've done a lot of those movies though too. It's just the best. Where I've got a camera, you've got a camera, and the most wonderful things happen. Were you
just sitting there listening to someone, and you haven't had to, sit around for 3 hours waiting to get the light perfect in order to sit there and listen to someone? It's just as though we were sitting right here. I love that. I felt like that had a lot to do with the success of why Richard Getting Married worked so well, and that feeling of it connected us so much as a family. Did you find that it helped you, and did it help you?
It helped me a great deal, because I like to get the heavy stuff over with the way I prepare as soon as possible, like on the first or second take. And I didn't even know Evan Rachel Wood. People who have three names, I can't remember. We didn't even introduce ourselves to one another, and I had worked on what I was working on, and she was off over there, and we had never met each other, and the scene was really heavy we had to do, and because there were the freedom of having the handheld, we didn't really have to do too much. The mistake I made is I let it all out on the first take and the second take, and then we had still a long night, and the director said to me, "Mickey, she's blowing you away. You suck." And I said, "Yeah, she's blowing me away, and I suck. You got two in the fucking can. What are you complaining about?" She got, as the night went on, she actually got better and better and better. And being a young actress that I was working with, I was very impressed with. She wasn't, her lack of being intimidated with me or with Darren or with the material, and because we were shooting in a very loose manner, she had the freedom to just be really good.
True, Sally, that when you start working with Mike, that you actually didn't know the movie was about you, that you were the central character?
No, I mean,
had he decided that, or does he not know himself?
Well, he had an idea. I mean, I was sort of, I was aware I was being used a lot, but because of the organic way he works, he doesn't really know. He can have an idea of what he would like and who he'd like at the centre or whatever, but more it's kind of free. And in the case of Vera Drake, there's more of a plot, and he knew that the basic film would be about a backstreet abortionist, and therefore it's kind of more filled in. But this was looser. But I knew that hopefully I'd end up with a nice part, but I didn't know to how much. So.
Did you suggest a character who was happy? Was that something that you? Because I know that he talks
talking about this. Well, I did. Mike obviously had an idea of where he wanted to go from very early on, from day one, really, and he kept sort of pushing me to the more slightly naughty sense of humour, characters with a slightly sprite-like and impish nature, but just also, but coupled with a compassion, and I kept trying to, bring up the darkness and kind of, yes, you could do this, and you go, yeah, no.
Dude, I gotta go here, Mr. Pitt. You have the.
Is this about the weird songs?
No, dude, I love your ass. Plus, I rock that movie.
You really do.
I can say, in your top 5 performances, maybe 3 of those are the ones who've done this. You have that tradition of, when you're with Fincher, something special happens. And going off what Frank too had said about reputation, it's like some people experience someone one way, and then, and I got along with them great, and I love working for him. And then I hear that you guys just have this real symbiotic thing that happens. And I know that this must have been an insaniac journey watching it and being kind of...
No, really. I'm telling you, we had the same laughs we had on 7, that we had on this one, that we had on Fight Club, that it's just one, I know I'm in good hands, like everyone was discussing before. He's a very bright guy. He's funny as shit. And at this one particularly, he's bringing that a personal side that I know of him from being friends for so many years, that I knew was going to ground this thing and make it really special. But then when it's game on, we just literally have a laugh. We don't.
It's so contained, and I mean, it feels free, but it's this whole journey through all these years, and it was all the technical stuff. But then I think the real win was just you without the CGI and the kind of just the simplicity, the containment of what you did, you know. Because I know historically when you can be more, you know, outgoing, like Burn After Reading or Snatch or movies like that, there's a freedom in knowing, all right, I'm that guy, and so I get to have this kind of part. But it seemed so dialed in. Was that him, or was that a decision you guys made together? Or would that come after a certain amount of takes?
We talked about what we wanted ahead of time a lot, you know. So we had this framework for the thing of love and loss and those. I guess we want to see maturity. We wanted to see individuals. We didn't just want to see the ballad of codependency. We wanted to see responsible people in this framework of a love story. And I don't know. There's a real simplicity to it, a real ease. You know, the things you put on sometimes add to the character. Like I found the dialect helped me so much because there's this ease to, and this lyricism to the New Orleans accent. It kind of set the pace for the thing. And you know, I go by feeling more than I actually understand what I'm doing, and add it up, you know, afterwards.
When you play him as a young, old man, when you're in the home, I was just wondering internally, do you think of him as old, or as a young man in an old body, or as an
we wrestled with that one a little bit. Yeah, old body, young person.
Young person,
yeah.
So that he really was mentally 6.
Yeah, that's what seemed to
and looked 80.
Worked the best.
Uh-huh.